Hey, hello again. I am the foreigner. Oh yeah, sorry. Here I'm known as Professor Fall Cypress. Anyway, thank you for your interest with my new discovery of Pokemon. I am here not only to welcome you to this region of Cogoma, but to equip you with all that there is to know about the Pokemon we have discovered so far. What? You didn't think that I would ask you to discover them all on your own? Only a crazy one would ask you to do this all by yourself. But nevertheless, we're here for the exciting prospect of new and interesting companions, history to uncover, and incredible new discoveries. Today I'll introduce you to the last evolution of your first ever companions. I know that it's been a bit of a long wait, but I swear that it was worth it. So, ready to take the plunge? Thank you for indulging with me. Let's go! Well, up to this point it is obvious that the theme of this starters is music and music genres. The previous evolution of the grass type were a bit more shy and reserved. It's supposed to mean an artist finding their footing and then becoming a humble giant with a voice of gold. I know we had a music-based grass-started monkey Pokemon before, but it really did not meet my expectations of what this concept could accomplish. So I wanted to throw my own hat into the ring and create a more interesting take, in my opinion. When I started to sketch this evolution, I based it on moss that you can find on many of the trees in Colombia, as of course it is the place where I'm basing the region on. We call it the Barba de Viejo, or well, Old Man Beard, or the Spanish moss. The monkey moves away from the TT monkeys that the previous were inspired on and becomes then a huge howler monkey, and from the genre of music I based it on reggae and tropipop, as it is supposed to be a chill but powerful. I leaned heavy into the dreads as I feel this accomplishes getting the correct vibe of the chill and humble musician. Say hello to Alotalos, the howler Pokemon. Alotalos can be heard from the break of dawn for miles, making beautiful harmonies to welcome a new day. They live at the very top of the trees and are rarely seen, as when they start napping, their fur can easily be mistaken by the hanging moss on the same trees. Well, isn't this an incredible final grass starter? Grass normal, of course. As you could be able to see, this is an offensive Pokemon through and through. You can either make it an attack or a special attacker. No matter in which way you would like to make sure to build it, Alotalos is reliable as a great just damage dealer. But, of course, a whole trio wouldn't be complete without the other two. So, how about we go ahead and go on for the next ones? Are you ready to see the fire starter? I knew that you would. Follow me. Alright, now moving on for the fire starter. I had to keep up with the concept for these three starters, that was of course music genres. I must admit that I went ahead a little bit from actually the inspiration of the region that was Colombia and just indulged in something that I really like a lot. The genre for this Pokemon is actually heavy metal. The previous evolutions were fire rock, so I actually make sure that this Pokemon, the third evolution, actually was inspired by refining the rocks on its back and creating a metal coat on, well, the back of it. It's inspired by a woolly armadillo, so it would make sense by making sure that rolling around, it creating its own armor. I inspired it on Dwarven armor, as also a very prevalent heavy metal band would be Windrose, or Dwarven metal. I just really wanted to be able to see a very intimidating Pokemon, a Pokemon that is inspired by the heavy and grungy, like, aesthetics of metal, but being kind of tiny at the same time. I just think is funny. While sketching it, I of course just follow the same details that I followed for the previous evolutions. I made him round and big. Actually, this was the second drawing from this line that I did. I first sketched the first evolution and then this evolution so that we could be able to see the progression between them. I knew that I wanted it to be a rock type but before a steel type, so I wanted to see how that evolution worked out further. But of course, let's go ahead and say hello to Dwarilo, the smithy Pokemon. Dwarilo used the intense body heat from their internal fur coat to heat up the metal that is within the rock on their back, refining it into a pristine steel armor. Blacksmiths from far and wide used the help of Dwarilo within their forge to heat up and straighten their metal creations. What a very interesting Pokemon, is he not? My personal favorite. I will not tell the others. I just love how tiny but bulky it is. Like, it's an impenetrable world no matter where you see it, with an incredible HP, defense, and a special defense stat. Of course, slow as a rock. But what would you expect from a Pokemon that looks like, of course, the greatest armor warrior that you would have seen? Well, we now have to move on to the last of the starter Pokemons. And last but not least, the incredible Water Dragon Pokemon. Alright, coming into the last starter, of course, I knew that I wanted to do a Water Dragon starter. I didn't know how I was going to implement it with the other concepts that I have, so the first thing that came to my mind was, okay, which genre of music was I going to link it to? I decided, let's go ahead and use another type of punk or rock. I really didn't like that since, of course, I had already done heavy metal, so I wanted to go ahead and differentiate it a lot more. Then I thought, why not making something a little bit more popular, like pop? Make it kind of like a pop star, someone that is very commanding and impressive within a stage. And so I went ahead and started doing that within the second evolution. Now the third evolution, whenever I started to sketch it, I simply make sure that it looked flowy and it looked majestic and imposing, making sure that it is not only an incredible dragon that it's supposed to be, but also this incredible singer that will simply take your breath and attention away from anything else and be just the center of everything. The colors, I made sure to actually muted them a lot more from the previous evolutions because I wanted to, again, for it to look regal and majestic. It looks a little bit more like an Easter dragon, but I think that just comes with the shape that I really wanted to do. So we'll go ahead and say hello to Gorgonkoi, the flying serpent Pokemon. Gorgonkoi are extremely rare on the wild, but definitely not subtle. Gorgonkoi are extremely territorial and always wanted the most attention during battle. Their shimmering scales reflect the light almost like mirrors. They are so popular with performers that this Pokemon has become a staple of their own stage appearances. Well, how do you think? That was the last of the 3 starters for, of course, the great new region of Cogoma. It's a region that I am still discovering and I want to make sure to discover it alongside with you. So just please make sure to follow me within this journey. And if you like any of these designs, go ahead and make sure to follow me as well within Instagram and X, Twitter. How do you call that app anymore? I'm unfortunately not sure, but I'm gonna be active within those platforms so that you can see this and many other designs that I have not yet posted within videos. This was The Foreigner. I will be seeing you